All right, guys, welcome to the Brady Bunch. This is a first for me. This is awesome. Jamarra's like, "Hey, do you want us all on 4 devices?" I was like, "Why not? That sounds amazing."
Well, I have to give credit to where the Quam actually. This is my first Zoom. I haven't done one before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So he asked because he does it every day.
It's been good just spending time with family, spending good quality time with family, doing stuff that you normally wouldn't do, watching TV, just enjoying time, trying to make the best of the situation.
What's been the response like from fans and people in the basketball community, and with your family friends too? What's been the overall response like for any of you three?
We've just been getting positive feedback. We've been getting love and, good luck messages from everyone. That just goes on how you treat people. You treat people good, then they'll show you love whenever it's time for you to do something. So that's pretty much been a vibe. We've been getting good vibes back.
All right, Jamarra and Quam, how about you guys? What's the response been like for you guys personally? Because you're as much a part of this as Ayo is, being that cohesive family unit that you are. What's it been like the past 48 hours for you guys?
I'll piggyback off what Ayo said. It's like, I think because we've always been straightforward, honest, no gimmicks and, playing games with the fans. And so you're good to people. People are good to you. You show love, they show love back. So it's always positive. I mean, you have a few, dark spots here and there with fans who may not necessarily like the outcome or like the decision that you make, but I've learned over the last 3 years to kind of block them out and go with the positive. And so yeah, it's always the pros have always been. So it's been the same with this situation. So it's always a good situation with the Illini and the fan base.
Mr. Q, how about you? What's it been like the past couple days?
The past couple of days is, being prepared for this, So this wasn't just, we just woke up overnight and boom, this what happened. All this was, the groundwork was laid down years and years ago. So it was just about time for everything to come to life. And, like Ayo said, it's by respect. You treat people right. You do what you say you're going to do. You get that positive feedback back. At the end of the day, we cannot control other people's opinions. And that's what it is, just their opinions. All we could do is take control of what we could do over here. And that's what we do.
This is such a rare opportunity to get the chance to talk to all of you at once. What's the level of sacrifice and love that you have all made collectively to make this thing work?
A lot of sacrifice, and you have to try to find balance whenever you can. So if it's supporting Yakub at his games, or supporting any of the business endeavors of our daughters or other family members, because it's not just the 6 of us, it's our family collectively, extended as well. And you just have to look at the bigger picture and know that the reward is going to be so much better than, the sacrifices that we're enduring now. But there are a lot of sacrifices, and to even try to name them all would be crazy. But on both sides, both Ayo's and my side, I do point out to a lot of people about him just being a young man, just a young 19, even 17, 18, 19, now 20-year-old man. It's like he doesn't live the lifestyle of a regular teenage or young, early 20 young man. His life is totally different. And that's a sacrifice that he has made to do something that he loves. And he knows, the things that he can't do, some places that he can't go, some activities is ice skating or rollerblading or, things like that he just can't do. that, you know, some other kids may take interest in and do whatever. So it's a sacrifice on both ends. But it's one that we bought into a long time ago, and we've just stuck with it.
Ayo, I'm interested to hear it because you're not just a basketball player, you're a young leader in the community. What are the sacrifices that you've had to make, you know, to get here, and what's the takeaway that a young kid, you know, in your neighborhood should learn from this?
Pretty much like my mom said, is so many different sacrifices that I had to make. I really can't name them all, but it's just the fact of when you are highly recruited or a player that kids look up to, you just have to lead by example. So certain stuff you can't say on social media, you know, you just have to be a role model to the kids because kids look up to me. I mean, I'm only 20, but I was blessed by the Lord to have a great talent. So by having that talent and treat people with respect and just showing people love, kids look up to me. So that sacrifice I have to make sure I'm always showing positive vibes and I'm always leading by example because I know that it's always someone watching.
I remember looking back at my college time, my professional and academic growth was probably second to my maturity and my spiritual growth. What's been the biggest change for you spiritually, or maybe even more broadly speaking, just as a man? What's been the biggest difference between 18-year-old Ayo and now 20-year-old after a whirlwind of the 2 years? What's the biggest spiritual difference in your life?
I feel like I just look at the whole world different. I look at everything different. It pretty much started with my grandma. My grandmother, she always sends me and my brother Bible scripts, and each and every morning, like in 6, 7 in the morning, that's the first thing I look at. So the more and more I actually dissected each verse and looked at it hard and took time into looking at it, the more and more that, you know, pretty much everything that is said in the Bible, I could take it into my life. So 18-year-old Ayo, I really wasn't doing that. I really was just going with the flow. But I feel like now that I'm 20, I'm older, learning from experience, getting experience from my parents, just looking at the whole world different.
How about Q? What have you noticed? What's the biggest change in Ayo from 2 years ago to now?
Some of the biggest changes that we talk about is that, you know, the opportunity to go to college, and learn to be on your own and learn to be a man, you know, going through the ups and downs of not saying that, you know, when your parents, your siblings are there with you right there and there, but, you know, you're on your own. Even though we're only 2.5 hours away, but I think the college experience is great because it teaches a teenager how to be a man, a young teenager how to be a man, and listen to somebody else, and then taking all the values that you learn from myself, from his mom, from his both sets of grandparents, and applying it to yourself. You know, so it's a valuable lesson. You know, I has been blessed. He's gonna continue to be blessed. You know, he has both sets of grandparents alive, and they both are very spiritual and in religion and everything. So yes, they give them scriptures. He reads it. He's able to understand it now, and he's able to apply it. And so just watching him growing from a teenager to a young man to a man is a beautiful sight of mine. And that's all I wanted.
I think you're going to make everybody cry. You got to go easy. All right, so let's talk about this next step here. Did a great job of explaining kind of, you know, what this is about. This is about evaluating things phase by phase. Is there anything that you feel like didn't get mentioned when people were describing this decision? And anybody can answer this. Is there something that people didn't focus on enough, or, you know, something, a factor involved that people didn't mention?
My dad can answer that.
Okay.
Well, you know, it goes back to, you look at the overall picture. You know, you look at the overall picture from A to Z, the 2 years he's been in Champaign. Even if you want to go back to the 6 years from high school to the 2 years of college. I mean, the 4 years of high school to 2 years of college. You know, Ayo's a winner. He's bona fide, straight up winner. And everything he does is about winning. And everything we do is about winning, you know. And in order to be a winner, you know, you have to have some great characteristics. You know, you have to have a top-notch work ethics. So you'll be able to dissect and break down stuff that you don't have, that you can do. He's a great listener. He's a hard worker. You know, it goes back to the first question you asked him, is character. You know, he knows that he's a role model, and he knows that younger athletes, younger players and students look up to him. So he has to carry himself in a certain way. You know, when it comes to playing, you know, all this stuff will come down. Everybody has their own opinion, and that's what it is. You have an opinion, but it's not a fact. You know, I might like apple, you might like grape. Doesn't mean that, hey, we're different, but, you know, that's just your opinion. Now, you look at Ayo and you dissect them, you know, he wins. And then from winning comes, when you win, you make a lot of people happy. And, you know, that's the one thing, you know, we're going to get out with that. You know, all the other, you know, you could dissect, he can't, you know, his shooting percentage went down this. Look at his overall game and look at when it counts. When it matters, when the game was on the line, Gord, and it mattered, the ball was in his hand. Be the playmaker, make the decision, bring us home. He's done that numerous times, you know, and so it's, you know, that's that at the end of the day.
It speaks for itself. So
Yes,
I'd love to ask you, because I said this on TV, that I think that the Team USA situation you're in was such a great example of how you're more than stats, measurables, things like that, where you rose to the very top of that team in a very competitive atmosphere. What is it about your game that is bigger than just numbers, measurables, things like that? And why is it important for you to get into those types of games as you try to prove to the NBA that you're that player?
It's just me just growing up watching so many great players like Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and they didn't base their game off their jump shot. They didn't base their game off of getting assists or rebounds. It was a collective unit. Everything came together because some nights the rim is closed and the ball doesn't go in. So that's just how I try to translate my game after not putting all my faith into the rim. So that's why Team USA, Coach Self, you know, the great coach staff, Coach Manning, they just told me what I need to do to win. Like with my dad, I'm a winner. That's what I like to do first, put winning. I'll do whatever it takes to win. If I have to try to score 60 points to win, then I'll do that. If I have to score 5 points, I'll do that. I just like to impact the game by any means necessary. And that's just how I like to make my game off of being an all-around player.
Who are some people that are a step or two ahead of you, either in college or NBA, or maybe even retired NBA, that you look up to and that you lean on for advice? Like who are some people that have helped give you some feedback that are that have been to that NBA level before?
I was talking to Quincy Poindexter yesterday. I talked to Darren Williams a few weeks back. Those are just pretty much the ones that I talked to recently. But guys who aren't playing that I look up to, Kobe Bryant, you know, the best of the best, Steph Curry. But guys that I talked to, like Darren Williams.
Yeah, what was that conversation like with Darren Williams?
I mean, he was just giving me the way how the NBA works. He was just talking to me about that, telling me how I'd be a great fit for the NBA with my size and everything, telling me what to look out for, you know, just giving me good points, just being a big brother, one of the best players in Illinois, just helping me out.
Did he or anybody else give you any tough love? There's always good to have people like that in your life who are kind of keeping the fire underneath you too. I know I need that in my life. Who provides that in your life, either on or off the court?
Oh, the tough love, it comes from my brothers, my brother, my sisters, really those three. I would say they're the hardest on me. And majority of all of my closest friends, They the hardest on me, you know. That's how it's supposed to be, though. They never let me get complacent. They never let me make it seem like that it's all good. They always look for more. So definitely those people, they keep me locked in.
That's awesome. Well, I've got a fun rapid fire string of questions for you. First, though, I want to ask about arguably the biggest Twitter celebrity in this call right now is Ms. Jamarra. How would you describe your mom's panache on Twitter, her pizzazz? How would you describe your mom on Twitter interacting with the Illini fans?
Oh, man, she actually loves to do. I just let her do her, let her be her, let her show her personality. She loves interacting with the fans. That's just her cup of tea. So, yeah, she is what she is. She's a celebrity. She just was born for that role. She just born for being like in the front and center. Like if she was a singer in a group, she'd be the one in the middle. That's just the way she was raised, and that's how she is.
All right, so what's it like to be a Twitter celebrity, Ms. Jamarra?
I don't think I'm a Twitter celebrity.
Do you realize that the Illini fan base looks to you as one of the most important voices on Twitter?
No, I did not know that. No. That's news to me. Breaking news. No,
that's
I did
not
know
news
that.
to you. Stop it.
It's
Right,
fun. I mean, it's really fun. It is.
Yeah,
I really did not get into Twitter until we became Illini, not to this magnitude. And I just saw it as my different social media sites. I use them for different things. Instagram is for business, Facebook is for family and friends, and Twitter is for basketball. So that's kind of how I mapped it out. But like Ayo says, I enjoy it, you know. And there was a time when I was, you know, when I remember Quam and I would kind of battle about how much how too involved I am, and I would just tell him, I said, you know what? I don't fuss at you about X's and O's. Don't fuss at me about my Twitter. It's fun. I mean, and I do. I treat it as such. My sister and I have kind of become a little duo there, where
You are a duo.
Yeah, we piggyback off of each other. It's just something that we can do, a way that we can interact and connect with the fans and be fans of other players as well. So I enjoy it. I do. It's fun. I don't make it too serious. I don't think too much about it for myself or whatever. Yeah. So.
That's awesome. I love it.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, what's next? What with no knowledge of anything NBA, Adam Silver came out and said that they don't even have a contingency plan, meaning there's no if A, B, or C happens. What do you do as a family, and what is the first opportunity that I guess you know you're going to be able to be in an NBA setting? Like, have they scheduled Skype interviews with you to interview you about stuff? I mean, what's the next contact you'll have with the NBA?
Well, the next contact is the one thing is, you know, we as a family we have a weekly talk session, and so we're on the same page, you know. So it's my job, my brother's job to make sure that we educate the whole family on the process. You know, so the first step was declaring our name for it. And so now the next step is we know as of now there's no combine, there's no workout in front of anybody, so they're going to be virtual meetings. And then, you know, 2 hours. So we just try to keep up with all the rules, the policy, and just wait like everybody else. You know, this is a 2-hour virtual call that you could have, you know, and by declaring our name Wednesday. So I'm sure our process will go through, and, you know, within next week, you know, virtual calls will be coming in and everything else. So preparing for that. As far as everything else, you know, we in the same boat with every other athlete. You know, we wait. You know, we wait and see. But in the same token, just preparing ourselves, like Aya says in numerous interviews, you know, just preparing ourselves, getting his body right, getting his mind right, you know, just going through different scenarios. If this happened, what we'll do if this happened, you know, as a family, and just talking and just, you know, planning for the unexpected. That's it.
Ayo, would you like to chime in on that? What are your thoughts on the next couple steps?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much everything my dad said. I'm just working out, lifting weights. I'm trying to find a track, just running, staying in shape, staying ready. So I don't have to get ready whenever the opportunity presents itself. I'll be ready.
You know, part of what's fun about covering Ayo as a journalist is that he doesn't really remind me of anybody as a player. He's got a very unique skill set. I've got, you know, friends in basketball and NBA level and stuff, and it's fun to hear their thoughts, you know, as an outsider who doesn't get a chance to see him, about who he reminds him of. What are some things that you guys hear about, like either from agents or people in the league? Who do they compare Ayo to? And Ayo, you can answer this too. It's for anybody.
I really don't get a lot of one-sided comparisons. One comparison I heard was maybe like a bigger version of Drew Holiday. That's probably the closest I heard because he played a 1 and 2. He could shoot it. He's one of the best defenders, all NBA defender. So that's pretty much the only person I hear him like consistently, but that's pretty much it. Like you said, I just have unique skill set. I try not to model my game off one person. I try to take little bits of pieces of everyone else's game.
How about Q? What do you think is the X's and O's kind of patriarch here?
Well, you know what? As far as, you know, when I break down Ayo, I look at this. The biggest thing is not comparing with other, you know, players as the ball handling, shooting, all that. I look at his heart. You compare his heart. He has a big heart. His heart is about winning. His heart, his competitive nature is off the chart. So when you have that big heart that you can't judge, you can't grade. It comes out. When he comes out, he wants to win. So if it means that, hey, I got those 10 assists, I'm gonna throw 10 assists. If it means that I have to guard the best player so they won't score, that's what I'm gonna do. Whatever it takes for us to win, I'm gonna do that. So his heart is so big. So you look at every winner in the NBA that has big heart, that won championship. That's the one thing that you could never judge. That's one thing you could never grade. But when it came down to winning, when it came down being on the line, you saw that. And then that's what Ayo does on the nightly basis. That's what he does in high school. That's what he did at Illinois. So when we get to the next level, you can't grade his heart. You could just see it.
I love it. A good spiritual answer from Quam. He goes for the heart.
Yes.
Mom Dosunmu, any thoughts on that?
No, I don't know any other players in the NBA.
You only care about one. Well, two. Kubi. He still counts too. All right, I got some fun questions here for you. Stefan Marbury did this yesterday on the ACC network with my friend Jordan Cornette, and it was awesome. So I'm going to ask you these couple questions. You can say pass if you want, but I just thought this would be fun. Favorite gym that you got a chance to play in an Illini uniform?
Ooh, favorite gym. Michigan. For sure, Michigan.
Michigan, why?
The arena was just so cool. The fans, you know, they was in their blue and their yellow, and their locker rooms they have one of the best locker rooms.
And Mr. Jamarra, you said that they were the nicest fans to you, right? I remember you saying something on Twitter. Was that Michigan that you said, where they were actually really classy?
The Michigan fans are awesome.
That's so interesting because that's not the reputation of that fan base. But
oh, really? No, they were very hospitable. They were by far the best arena that I've been to.
All right, Ayo, best snacks that you got a chance to eat at somebody else's gym or at U of I?
Scooby snacks. Scooby graham crackers.
Like, are they shaped like?
Yeah, like the Scooby-Doo. Like, yeah.
What happened to oatmeal? I thought all you ate was oatmeal all day long.
Yeah, I used to eat oatmeal, but when I got to my weight, I didn't want to go over my weight, so I had to lay down the oatmeal.
Okay, awesome. Funniest teammate you've ever gotten a chance to play with?
Funniest teammate. I had to say Allen. Man, I guess it was just funny because we were just so close. So pretty
Alan
much,
Griffin?
yeah, pretty much everything we said, it was laughing or it was just funny, like inside jokes.
Who either in high school or college talked the most trash to you?
Who talked the most trash?
High school or college or both? How about each? Or AAU circuit?
No one really starts the trash talking first. Normally I do.
You do?
So, yeah.
Wow, I was not expecting that answer.
Are you serious?
Yeah. When I get on the court, it gets treacherous. I just get in my mode. I'm out there having fun. Xavier Simpson, he talked. We have fun battles.
What would he say to you?
Oh, I mean, we were just having fun out there. I always tell my parents, like when I'm on the court and I'm talking trash to someone, I never tell them the information that was on the court. I leave that on the court, but just know we was having fun battles and we were just having fun out there competing.
Who's the player that you get defensive? Everybody's got that one player where people underrate them and they get defensive and they want to defend that guy. Who's that one player, either in Chicago or maybe at Illinois too, that's in the NBA right now that you always like to defend, that you think is better than other people?
In college, I'll have to go with DeMonte Williams. I say that because he really put out a position this year, and he still gave it all he has. He defends. He does all of the things that most fans who are not educated in the game will understand. He defends. He can make shots. You know, he's all around great player.
Oh, were there aliens landing on your roof?
Right, I don't know where that's coming from.
A lot of musical stuff, man.
It's me.
I'll put my glasses on. Can't see.
Is it cute? Maybe that's a sign that you're.
I went away.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then in the NBA, I have to go with Drew Holiday also.
Okay, so interesting. So you've kind of been looking up to Drew Holiday for a while now, huh?
I mean, yeah, I study the game, man. I mean, there's so many players you can go with, but I would say Drew Holiday because each and every year he's up there for all NBA defensive team. He guards, he can score. If you ask any NBA player, Kevin Durant, any of those guys, they'll tell you that how for real Drew Holiday is.
Who was the person that you really looked up to, like at the local level growing up?
You know, locally, I mean, that's tough. There's so many guys. Pretty much all the guys ahead of me. I mean, all the great guys ahead of me, I pretty much looked up to them in Chicago. Like, I just wanted to be as great as them or, you know, ultimately just accomplish more than them. And, I mean, the list goes on. You can go with Jabari Parker, Jahlil Okafor, Cliff Alexander, Tyler Ulis, all of the guys that went on to play Division I level ahead of me because when I was younger, I was in 6th, 7th grade, and when they used to play the city championship games at Chicago State, me and my dad and my brothers, we used to always run there and watch it because that was classic Chicago basketball. So, you know, all of those guys, you got Paul White. There's just so many Chicago guys that, you know, I grew up watching and just looking at them play.
Any final thoughts, guys? Is there anything I didn't ask you about or that you'd like to say before we close here? This is a lot of fun.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
We appreciate you so much, Gordon.
Thank you guys for everything.
Always great
Thanks,
going
man.
with you, Gordon.
Pause this. Yeah.